Hello dear friends. Another day, beautiful outside in the park. Today I'd like to talk to you about relationships. It really became obvious to me today that at the moment we are spending almost 24/7 with our families and friends that we live together with. And therefore I believe that it is a brilliant opportunity for us to look at who we are in relation to those people and to really gain an understanding about ourselves. Who are we in a relationship, or in the relationship that you're in at the moment with a partner? So there is technically about three types of dysfunctional relationships. One type of those relationships is called the codependent type of relationship, which is probably one of the most common ones. Codependent relationships is where people do everything together, and a lot of times they sacrifice what they really want to do because they feel unsafe and secure in that environment, and instead they hang around with their partner all the time and doing everything together, and they feel like one individual rather than two separate people. Another type of relationship is a dominant submissive relationship where one is completely is living life completely in a submission to the other, to the dominant individual, and it feels like they have no personality. They'll do anything to please them. And the other type of relationship is the relationship of being aloof of one another, and that type of dynamic is a little bit more rare, but it is existent, and people in that dynamic draw energy from one another by being aloof, by pushing the other away, even though they want to be with them and spend time with them. That type of relationship is very much typical for people that fear intimacy. So all these three types of relationships exist in the world, and all of these three of them are dysfunctional orientation and are designed by our conditioning and limiting beliefs, and of course our childhood conditioning and childhood experiences in order to keep us safe and secure and survive in the world. But when we come here to actually on earth to live our life, we have our dreams, we have our path that we want to walk and the things that we'd love to create. And no matter how much we compensate and try to stay safe and secure and seemingly happy in a relationship, we're not going to be really happy unless we are walking our path, unless we are creating our dreams and unleashing those talents and gifts and bringing them to the world. So what a lot of people end up doing is discarding what all those talents and gifts are and not even look at them, and stay in a relationship that keeps them safe and secure, even though that relationship doesn't serve them, or the dynamic doesn't serve them in the relationship. That doesn't mean that you have to quit your relationship, but it is considering what your relationship is like at the moment. Is it any of those types of dysfunctional relationships? Because it could be any of those in different times, in fact. And just by being able to be really honest with yourself and see whether you're procrastinating something that you really want to do simply because that you want to hang around with your partner, or are you really forgetting about your needs and desires and not being able to voice them out because you're scared that you're going to hurt them, and you're discarding your own inner desires because of them, because you want to satisfy them in one way or another? Or are you the person that is completely fearful to do anything in life and are ready to submit all their power to the dominant partner and completely make their life all about serving the other, as if you're here to please others? And with this video, I really wanted to encourage you to look at your current status and current relationship situation, not only with your loved ones and your partner in life, but also with your friends, because this can happen in a dynamic between friends. And just look how these dynamics are played out and what you're doing against yourself and against your will in order to please others or in order to avoid something that you really want to do. And by facing that type of reality and facing that, being completely honest and facing that reality can actually empower you to change the situation and to really be the empowered person that you are, and to really start creating and turning those relationships and transforming them into something that is functional, that actually is empowering for both sides, and it actually is supportive of both individuals. Imagine a relationship where one person is responsible for their own actions and the other person is also responsible for their own actions. And imagine these people supporting each other in creating what they love, no matter whether that's a friendship or a loving partnership, an intimate partnership. Imagine how much better it would be if you could voice out what you want and what you don't want. If you understand what your boundaries are in relation to your friends and family and a partner. Imagine if you just knew all that about yourself and you'd be able to voice it out. Then there will be no one to blame anymore. You're going to be completely in charge of your life. And you're going to be really happy and satisfied because you're no longer going to feel that frustration and anger towards your partner because they're not pleasing you, they're not giving you what you want. Because you will have that responsibility within you to voice out what you want and what you don't want. Imagine taking that responsibility for yourself. Isn't that empowering? Doesn't that feel good? Think about it.